Well, delighted to get a few minutes with Siddharth, who is a platform engineer at Cummins. Siddharth, thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me on, Viraj.
Awesome. All right, so let's start with a little bit of an introduction. Tell us about yourself.
So I completed my bachelor's from Pune University in May of 2019, and I joined University of Wisconsin Milwaukee to pursue my master's uh, in the same year of fall of 2019, and I recently graduated in the month of May, completing my master's in mechanical engineering focused in mechanical design.
Got it. You graduated just this year in May, right?
Right.
Got it. Let's talk about the timing of beginning the job search. When did you start searching for job opportunities in the US?
So I had to change my strategy. So the ideal strategy works from starting way before, like 5 to 6 months. Because of COVID, I had to start early. Since so Let's jump back to summer of last year, summer of
Mm-hmm.
2020. Uh, I had internship offers from ABB, but unfortunately, due to COVID, they had to cancel the entire internship program. And same goes with the local manufacturing industries right here in Milwaukee. So having no experience, no internship experience, I had to rethink my strategy of applying for full-time job offers. So I started in the month of August,
Mm-hmm.
not applying for jobs, but like the networking and getting in touch with people. Um, and like the month of August, I would say it was the perfect period for me. And I planned in such a way that I could complete my master's course load in the month of December. So I had these 6 months entirely dedicated for job search, starting from December of last year to May of 2021.
Amazing. So now, if you were to look back, would you have done something different? Would you have changed your approach in regards to when you started searching for job opportunities? Would you have given yourself a little bit for more time, or do you think you had enough time?
Uh, I would say the job starting, like the timing of the job search start was ideal and was the perfect for me
Got it.
because I had to, as I mentioned, I had to rethink the strategy. But I would say there is like nothing too much I could change if I could start early
Yes.
because companies were starting to open in I would say fall, and then I could get in touch with people like different managers, the technical personnel at various industries,
Hmm.
right at that time. So I would say the timing was perfect.
Awesome. Got it. So let's talk about the approach for searching jobs. How did you approach a job search?
So multiple ways. One of the is like doing a marathon of job application. So finding the local companies, finding the positions you want to work in.
Uh-huh.
So I had a position in mind, like mechanical design engineer, and my master's program was focused on entirely that. So choosing subjects which are of interest to me, and then finding a position that I will be working later on. So I had that like decided way before I started for job application. So having the position decided, it was easy for me to just look for the available roles or the
Hmm.
openings at different manufacturing industries and automotive industries. Those were the two industries I was targeting. And yeah, I mean, so your question was like what approach I did,
How was
right?
your approach?
Basically,
Yes.
for
Yeah. Like, how did you
yeah,
approach
yeah,
a job search? Right. You mentioned that
yeah.
you knew that you wanted to be in the engineering design space, the mechanical engineering design space.
Yeah.
From there on, like, how did you approach job search? Different avenues,
So
different ways of doing it.
the career fairs
Hmm.
helped in a way to get in touch with people. But because of COVID, there were not many openings, so that was not much of a help for me. Uh, but plain applications, networking with people on LinkedIn, friends,
Yes.
and like talking to many people, like getting to know the company, getting a perspective of what you'll be working on, where
Hmm.
you'll be working. Uh, that was my entire strategy.
Got it. So now, if you were to look back, would you have changed your job search approach? If so, how?
Uh, Yeah, a little bit. So as I mentioned, I started in August. Uh, it was basically starting to network with people. Uh, So it's not just like you asking questions and you keep pushing people and then getting or extracting information. You have to develop a strategy. You have to develop all the like write those templates, like custom templates for many different professionals. Uh, and I would say give yourself more flexibility in terms of like job search. So if you want to talk to people, be open to them, have open-ended conversations, not like yes or no questions. So
Mm-hmm.
ask them questions about take interest in their profiles, like take interest in their projects, get to understand their what problems they solved when they were of your age. So basically, if I want to give a specific example, um, there was a very good position at Tesla, a mechanical design engineer, and this person graduated from Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley. They were working on that position. So I asked them about their projects, what they had solved the problems in past, and got to know like I got the information which I could have never gotten from anywhere else.
Got it.
So yeah, asking them questions basically,
That would have been
and
better.
yeah, yeah, and uh, asking them about what resources I can trust and refer to
Mm-hmm.
to develop my profile. So another thing is in the job search process, you just don't want to like do the plain application for the job searches. You also want to curate your profile more. Like the more information you get, you reiterate the process, you develop your resume, uh, you make it perfect.
Yes.
So it's all like information incoming, and then you develop your profile
Yes.
accordingly.
Yes. Absolutely. That's an amazing thing that you mentioned. Asking questions to those who are in the industry and asking
Mhm.
them what resources you can trust, right? Because
Yeah,
I think with the abundance of information that we have, it's sometimes difficult to identify what to trust and what not to trust and what to just have and no opinion on. But I think that was a very interesting insight that you shared.
right.
So let's talk about actually getting interviews. We have all applied for multiple positions, and we have tried to network. Uh, was there anything in particular that you were doing to actually get interviews for the jobs that you applied for, as you were networking?
Two things. You want to target ambitious companies and safe companies, similar to the university applications you make for masters. So ambitious, medium, safe.
Yes.
Uh, you want to when you try to go for ambitious ones, don't just make like plain applications. So I didn't make any like plain applications going on their careers page and just applying for that. It never works. So the primary thing is getting in touch with a recruiter first, cold emailing them. I know it's a time consuming process, cold emailing, but you are betting your chances. So you might get a like a text back or a message back. Uh, Success rate is pretty low, but that would help. And yeah, so for getting interviews from ambitious ones, you want to talk to recruiters first. Uh, Help them, like have them understand that you are interested in the role, and then you are able to relocate to that position. All the basic requirements. You don't want to speak on technical terms with them.
Hmm.
You just want to you just don't want to bore them with the technical
Yes.
stuffs, like the projects you have done or the position you are applying for. They are not interested in that. They are
Yes.
just targeting they're just matching the requirements to your skills.
Uh-huh.
So have them like bridge that gap, help them understand. So that strategy helped for me to get interviews from big companies. And other thing would be for small industries, like locally, Indeed and LinkedIn. Go for the marathon. Have some time, like uh, maybe 2 hours in the day you get, and then start like apply for as many roles as possible. I would say, but don't just trust on that process. You also want to go for the ambitious ones and play it safely. So keep a good balance of both.
Got it. So now, if you were to look back, would you have changed your approach when it came to actually, trying to get interviews from the companies that you applied for?
Uh, Not really. So I got interviews from two or three of the ambitious ones. by following the strategy I mentioned.
Yes.
But for the safe ones, it all depends on your like chances of getting noticed.
Yes.
So it's all on your resume, how good it is, or how you're targeting it. So I would say, don't just make a general resume. Do it as per the position required. So search for the job title, look for the requirements. You will have the information, and then curate the resume as per the job requirements, and then apply for multiple jobs on Indeed or LinkedIn.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So, talking about the preparation for interviews that you have gotten, how did you prepare for the interviews?
Uh, Primary step would be like researching more about the company, their projects, their products or services. Like depends on the role who you're applying for. Uh, in my case, it was mostly products, engines, or maybe different types of products.
Yeah.
You want to research about that. Uh, Look for the job requirements. You'll get a rough idea of what projects you'll be working on, and try to relate or try to match the projects you have done in past
Yes.
to those projects. So yeah, I mean that is a strategy I followed
For preparing for interviews.
preparing for interviews. And another thing I would like to mention is like uh, you want to imagine a scenario when you're actually giving the interview, like having the perspective, and uh, use like the STAR method, which is the most famous one: situation, task, and then action result. You want to develop those answers. I prefer like writing them down, writing the main points down, bulletin points, or maybe whole answers. You want to develop those answers, but at the same time, you want to be flexible enough that you can uh, manipulate or uh, direct the answers as per the situation or as per the person you're talking with at the interview. Yeah, those are the two things I
Got it.
use.
So now, if you were to look back, would you have done something different when it came to preparing for interviews?
Yes, definitely. So in the month of February, which is way early to get interviews to start as full time in uh, May or June, I got an interview from Elon Musk's one of the ambitious projects, the Boring Company, um, as to work as a mechanical design engineer. Uh, when I got that, I wasn't expecting so soon that I will be getting that interview. I started preparing for that. I had around like 1 week to prepare, but having no experience of interviews, like I have given like interviews in a small format, I would say, on a phone call interview or something. But having a little experience, um, I I would say quite honestly, I over prepared for that. I tried to impress them a lot. That didn't help. That they ended up rejecting me for that role. So I would say when you're writing the answers, as I mentioned, like the bulletin points and everything, you want to be flexible. You want to give the answers as per the situation. Don't just like learn the answers like by heart and then give it there.
Yes.
That won't help. That won't help.
Amazing learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's pivot towards some company-specific questions. How did you come across the platform engineer role at Cummins?
So Cummins has a program called college recruiting, new grad college recruiting,
Okay.
and when you apply for a few roles, they a person get in touch with you about to know more about you basically. What projects have you done in past? What experience do you have? And there are certain openings in the like in the company. So the Cummins had multiple openings, and talking with that person, they recommended me for a few positions that I can apply for. And that's how I came to know about the role of platform engineer there.
Got it. How did you get an interview for the platform engineer role at Cummins?
So I trusted the process of employee referral program.
Okay.
One of the employees who works at Cummins, good friend of Viraj's, he referred me to the position, to multiple positions, and then my profile got like they were interested in the profile.
Got it.
And the talent scout got in touch with me. Uh, because of the projects I have done in past and the requirements, this skipped one or two processes, I would say, in the recruiting entire lineup. And I was able to land up directly on the technical part or the behavioral and functional interview, what is called the terminology. I landed on the technical interview directly. And so it was just one interview process for me, like one interview step.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, that kind of brings us to the next question that I was about to ask. What was the interview process like? And you mentioned that you only had one interview, one technical interview.
Yes. So I applied for 3 roles at Cummins by getting an employee referral. My profile got they got interested in my profile by looking at the applications. Talent Scout got in touch with me. I talked with them about my interests. A platform engineer role was available at Cummins. They interviewed me for that role. Interview lasted for about 1.5 hours, I would say. And they asked multiple questions about like they were asking behavioral and functional.
Okay.
So technical aspect.
Okay.
You want to be ready with your fundamentals. So platform engineer is basically working on one of the leading teams at Cummins who works directly on the design of diesel engines. So you want to keep your fundamentals ready for the engine testing, engine design, all of the fundamentals, and at the same time the behavioral part of it.
Yeah. Got it. And how long after your last interview did you get the offer?
1 week, I would say. Yeah.
1 week.
So yeah. Wednesday was the day when I interviewed, and then I had to wait for 1 week. So Thursday, I got directly an offer from them.
Got it. And any last piece of advice for any international student seeking a full-time opportunity in the US?
Sure. So as I mentioned, for interview process, you want to write the answers, but be flexible. Be open to all the conversations you have. Keep the conversations open-ended. Don't just ask yes or no questions. Start with the process. Try to curate the process for yourself. There is a bunch of resources out there, but you just don't want to follow a single one.
Yes.
Take information from everything and then try to curate a process for you.
Gotcha. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Siddharth, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.